Hello class and welcome to Taisa analysis number 2. Today we're going to be discussing Jcklonk versus Slushee, a Wario main versus Joker main. So this will be in the perspective of Joker, and there's going to be 4 things I'm going to be focusing on. 1. How much Wario threatens the opponent throughout the game. 2. Focusing on getting good openings and punishes. 3. Any habits that Slushee/Wario is going to make, and what I think he should be doing instead. And let's get right into it. So I'm not really an expert on stage selection for Wario, but what I've seen is a lot of the stages end up on Pokemon. So I think stages that will really benefit, if we want to look at it on a mobility perspective, is stages like Pokemon Stadium, Battlefield. Yeah, Pokemon Stadium and Battlefield are the 2 biggest ones. Maybe FD. But Town and City, I might avoid unless I'm in a matchup where it's really, really strong for me as Wario. So I always start with the beginning. What is the Wario doing in the beginning? Okay. Alright, so let's start here. So your main goal is Mission 1, threaten your opponent throughout the game. So how do you threaten your opponent? Well, number 1, you have to have really good mobility in the neutral. You should be abusing that. So in order for you to abuse your mobility very well, you have to find ways for you to get close to your opponent. But here you kind of like just back away. You're not really sure what you want to do. So it's important to kind of just play aggressively. So you want to get close enough to where Joker is threatened to try to either needing to approach you or threatened by your aerials, or that's it. But so far you're jumping, which is good, but you want to make sure you jump in, and you probably could have got a neutral air if you did, because he wouldn't be respecting your ability. Personally, Wario has really good mobility in the air versus Joker, but Joker just has disjoints, so that's what makes it difficult for Wario as a player. But if you have really good positioning throughout the game and you take use of your mobility, you'll do really fine here. So that's what you should have did in the beginning. Of course, Jcklonk gives up his pressure, which is good. Got a good aerial. So what I'm seeing here right here is the biggest thing that makes Wario stand out with his mobility is he has a high tendency to just clip people randomly. Like, he can clip people with neutral air, he can clip people with up air. Like, a lot of things clip people. And when you start getting a little bit more damage with Wario, it makes it really difficult. So I think here, yeah, you're applying a lot of pressure, but don't forget grab is also a thing. Don't forget you can grab people. Really nice bike here. So right here, you're playing around and stuff, but you can apply free pressure. I'd say be patient with your openings, but don't be afraid to threaten. Your biggest thing with Wario is always to be threatening something, because at the end of the day, if your opponent always feels threatened by your movement, what your end goal will be is to basically abuse the fact that you have waft and you're ahead and your opponent can just die instantly, because they're always going to be afraid of that. But if you don't make your opponent afraid early, they're not going to be that much afraid of you. Really good bike there to get out of the scenario. Alright, so here you need to really decide whether or not you're going to camp Joker or go ahead and hit him with the new rework on his Arsene. Now here, I do think camping is a good idea here, and just really look for looking for punishes. Right here, you're only looking for punishes. So your mindset should be avoiding as much as possible while looking to see if the opponent is going to make a mistake, which he does quite a few times. I don't really see you use grab that much in this matchup so far, which there's a lot of times where he's mispositioning and you definitely could grab him. Really good near out of shield. Okay, so we can talk about this even though you get the kill. What I'm seeing you do here is you're doing a lot of back airs, right? But let's go back. what will back air get you, right? And if back air, if your whole plan is to get that person off stage so you can go ahead and kill them, then you should be positioning yourself in a way to try to space backer probably. But this is kind of lazy backer spacing. Like, it's not really deliberate. You're not looking for a backer that will actually like hit them. If you're gonna zone, there's a lot of ways you can zone without just using backer. Another piece of that, back air is more useful on Wario in this matchup when the opponent is kind of like jumping, and I don't have a paint, but maybe this mouse, if you can see the mouse in the middle, when your opponent is going, let's say you're Wario, you're on the left side of the stage, right? And Joker's jumping diagonally above you, diagonally right. That's when you should start doing back airs. But if not, then unless it's going to get you a lot of advantage, you shouldn't really look for that. You should be looking for ways to juggle the opponent. Right here, really good clip, almost really good grab, really good nair. Back air is not really getting you anything. So here, you're seeing yourself spamming back air with neutral air, but honestly, you can just keep neutral airing. He's jumping a lot. So here's the thing. A lot of players in Smash Ultimate jump out of shield. And jump out of shield is the fastest option for most characters to get out of shield. There's not a lot of characters who just have DPS that they can just use to get out of stuff, right? So you should be taking advantage of that, especially with Wario. Wario's neutral air is so powerful that as soon as they jump, they should be getting clipped all the time. And one of your ways to practice this is really pay attention to if you're in range to cover someone jumping when they nair, and also understanding if you can, because Wario's neutral has a lot of utility to it. It's cobble starter. It can catch people overshooting. It can undershoot. It can cross people up. Like, so many different uses that you should be deliberately trying to make use of one of those specific ways. Like, consider what you're trying to do with nair and pressure the opponent. But here you're trying to like do back air and stuff, and you're not getting much reward for hitting a back air off of a nair. You mainly want to get right here. You mainly want to get juggles on the Joker. Okay, no, so we're going on this part. Okay, should be seeing you trying to up air him if he's doing that. Now, when he's doing that bullet stuff, that's one of the few times where you can actually go for back air and clip them and then go for up air, but up air is generally going to be better here. Okay? Really good down air. Looking for up airs. You should be looking for up airs. So, one of the key parts about Wario, in order to be a good Wario, and I know I'm talking a lot, because Wario has so much pressure that there's a lot to cover. When your opponent's in these scenarios, like right here, after the down air, and he's trying to jump to get away, you should be looking to up air him. Trying to up air people as much as possible, especially if they're gonna spam jump out of stuff to get out of some other combos. Oh my god. See what happened there? I know it's kind of exaggerating, but every time when you win, remember when I said you're not going to get anything up there? You definitely, like, I know that was a crazy punish, but like, you didn't even get anything. Imagine if you hit that bear. What would you have gotten? You might have sent them away, but you wouldn't have juggled them. And instead you die. So definitely gonna harp on that. Alright. Okay, big mistake here. Time out the Arsene. You have plenty of time to sit there. Do not just immediately go off the platform, especially if they have Arsene. You're just giving them free pressure right there. Okay. Great up air mix-up. You almost hit it. Just kind of did a little bit better. I don't know why you're so afraid to neutral air. It's so broken. Should keep doing it, even if he has Arsene. Or back off. I prefer backing off because then at least you can play neutral again. Now this is kind of difficult because he's able to run all over you. Okay. Ooh. So a lot of it is just you not really playing the matchup correctly. And now he honestly can keep trading with you until you get that kill. Okay, he got you. Okay. Oh my goodness. So much spaghetti. Oh, that's a punish. Oh my goodness, you weren't ready. So biggest thing when you're playing is I want to see you be able to react to some like insta be able to react to some punishes, because there's some times where you can kill your opponent and you're kind of like not ready, and that's very important. Also, that back air was really good because you could actually get something off of that, and if he did like the bullet hell, I just like calling it bullet hell if you don't know the move name. You could just call it gun. When he uses gun, then he can do some, you can hit him for that. Now right here he knows that. Okay, so see what I said earlier about always threaten your opponent. Right now he's just trying to get anything to kind of hit you away, and he's really scared, really scared. Oh, you messed that up. You definitely can't be messing those neutral air combos up. If there's anything I want you to practice, is that in particular, especially when it's your whole character's design is to be able to kill people, and with just basically always being. Oh my goodness, he's so scared. Also here, most of the time you should assume if people are afraid. Okay, so here's an idea for you, a very important idea for you. Most of the time, and a player will not know your setup combos better than you. And what I mean by this is, let's say you know your neutral air waft confirms with Wario. Your opponent may have a general idea of how it's going to happen, but they're not going to know the percent. So why is this important? It's important because if your opponent is trying to avoid waft because they know they're going to die, they're either going to spam jump or they're going to spam air dodge. And if you understand this, you'll know the timing that you can react to jump or air dodge and then up air people more. Because at the end of the day, if you can't get a confirmed waft combo, then you just want to keep up airing them, juggling them to make them really scared. So Jcklonk jumped immediately, so very definitely take note of that. I know it seems really a high pressure situation, high tense, because you're at high percent, you could die to literally anything, but don't be afraid. Okay. Really good camping. Oh my gosh. You're playing this so well right now. Oh my goodness. That was really good. That's how you should have been playing at the beginning. Always threatening. Threatening an option. That's your main goal with Wario. Thank you. Oh no. Kinda just banked on it. Also, keep in mind, you don't always have to jump. I know Wario has great mobility, but you don't always have to jump. Okay. Alright, so quick review of game 1. Your main focus is to abuse your mobility in neutral, to threaten your opponent. And you want to threaten your opponent, which also helps you look for openings and a lot of punishes, with your end goal being that you can get 2 kills and then waft ends up being your win condition, which you know most of this, but it's very important. So some of the habits that you're doing is you're doing back air a lot, so it's, even though it's not really getting you a lot of ward at low percents, you're not waiting for the opponent after you hit them with a neutral air to see if you, after you get a couple of hits with your up airs, to see what they're going to do next, which is important to remember, to apply more pressure to your opponent. Wario has really good juggling, and definitely something you should be taking advantage of. Okay, now I see you playing a little bit better. Going for a lot of neutral airs. You see how he's trying to, he has to deal with your mobility in his hard time. Like he had to do a bunch of dash dancing just to even get something. which this makes it a little bit easier because you know, hey, all you have to do to catch him is just overshoot and undershoot. Ah, you didn't fast fall the up air. That's why you didn't get enough. You didn't fast fall the up air to get the auto cancel. Okay. Ooh, that was really good. Oh, I went for the up air. All right, now at this point, you pretty much are trying to avoid him because he can kill you right now, and you don't want that. Okay, you're trying to fight him a lot. Not really gonna be in your favor. I know there's a lot of reward for knocking off our Arsene, but yeah, as you can tell, he's able to kill you, and you don't really have option to kill him right now. Really good command grab. A B. There. I agree with that. So, gonna go back a little bit. So when he had Arsene, if you weren't at like kill percent already, then there's an argument to actually hit him because if you hit him off stage, Wario has like one of the freest edge guards on Joker because anytime he up Bs, you can just do a fast fall downer because you cover so much with it. It's like edge guarding with Pikachu back here, except bigger and better because you're just gonna keep knocking him away from the stage. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, he is just running all over you this game. Okay, really good jump. Okay. You're really scared right now, seems. Don't forget, you can do jump up air if you think he's going to jump too. Doesn't always have to be neutral air. It's just really good. Alright, really good chase. Okay. So one of the things that can really help you in this matchup, especially when you have to wait, think if waiting for you is like kind of a hard complex concept to be like every time you get hit someone you're like I need to wait, which might be hard for some people. I recommend thinking about it more like a delay. I just need to delay my attack, delay my aerial, delay my punish. If you think sometimes about delaying, it really screws with people. And honestly, if it's kind of like a check, right? If they double jump and you're ready for the double jump, you hit him, then cool. Now, if they're thinking about, man, this guy's going to look for my double jump because he's waiting, then it's more threatening. And then all of a sudden, you might just hit him. It's like basic conditioning. But I think that would truly help you get this kill right now. If you think about this game logically, he's had Arsene for a long majority of this game, and he's killing you every time he gets it. Okay, I would not look for F tilts here, not in the neutral. One, because he's really fast, and two, because he's not at ledge, so you can't pressure him. Oh my goodness. Okay, you don't need the double. See, bike got hit. Here, I don't think you need the bike. Here, I think you could air dodge. You could also just go to ledge with a B. But definitely don't do stuff that ambitious. And the reason why you don't need to double jump early is because what is he going to do? Follow you deep? Yeah, he can follow you deep. But he also needs to understand that you could just jump. But you definitely jump too early. So a really bad habit that people have a lot in this game is they jump too early. Which is why I was explaining how you could punish people by waiting. Because they jump too early. And jumping too early kind of puts you in a position to where like he literally could just react. Like I'm guarantee he was not looking for you to do a double jump air dodge and he was just looking for you to double jump so that way he can hit you. But because you double jump in and then air dodge in towards the stage, you got destroyed there. So this game, he just had a lot of Arsene in it. It was just like you didn't really know how to deal with it. And the way you were closing out stocks were ways that just people didn't really have to play around, like F tilting and neutral and stuff. So again, most important thing in the Wario Joker matchup, or a few things I should say, mobility in the neutral. You have very, very, very good area mobility in the neutral, and anytime you get clipped in the early game. Basically, I'll say in the early game you should be winning because you have so many ways to open in the neutral, and Joker has a lot of ways to open in neutral. But I think with your mobility, you should be doing pretty efficient at getting damage early. Y'all kind of do the same thing to each other in a way with the openings and mobility. Second thing, you should be focusing on being efficient on your juggles. Anytime you clip someone at low percent, once you start getting at 30% range, you should be looking to try to chip him, and then get up airs off of those chips, such as neutral air, or lining up air into up air, or grabs. Third, in general, you should when the opponent has Arsene and you can't threaten them by killing them, you should always be looking specifically for openings and punishes, more on the punishes end, because you have great mobility to bait the opponent. So the more you get punishes, the more you'll be able to last out Arsene, and sometimes you can destroy Arsene just by dealing a lot of damage. And never forget that you're trying to threaten your opponent the entire game. That's the fourth step. You're trying to threaten your opponent with mobility, juggling, openings, and punishes, because at the end of the day, Wario has one of the most powerful tools of Waft to get you kills. Thank you for watching Taisa Analysis. Wario versus Joker.